funny how things change over time. If you look at the way we look at schools and education, I have a funny fact to share. The word school originally comes from the Greek word schola. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's the Greek word for school as we use it in English, right? So, what is the definition of schola in the original Greek language and how was it used then? Is what I wonder. So, I looked it up this afternoon and literally, it means something like leisure, free time, or spare time, which is kind of funny, right? And the way they were using the word scola is as um, like a use of your free time, a spare time, by engaging in philosophical and intellectual discussions, the great philosophical men did, right? So it's very interesting to me because if you look at how we use the word school today, it is this heavily regulated and closed off system that you have to be a part of. And it's nothing like spending your free time discussing philosophical topics. So, where did we mess up in history and why did we choose to take a different route? Is what I find interesting. Because to me, using your spare time to engage in philosophical conversations, it's actually great, right? But using your time to be in school where you are obligated to be, and if you don't come, you will get a fine or you will go to jail. That's something like complete opposite to what the ancient Greeks used to do with the word school or schola. I'm actually starting a series of videos about how we went from that system to the system that we use today and why that is, the whole journey, and how we can approach the future in a better way. Because I'm a father of two little girls and I don't really see the way that we are educating our children in a way that it's like future proof, right? So I dropped out of university because I saw the big changes that are coming a bit earlier than the rest of the world did, maybe. And I realized that in order to get a degree and find a job, I had to spend a lot of time, which I did. And then you would not be rewarded in the way that I wanted to be rewarded. Because today, if you finish university and get a decent job, you're not able to sustain a family of like four people on your own, which in my opinion is crazy. And I don't know where we got it wrong, but somewhere in history we took a wrong turn. And now we have to bear the consequences and actually get rid of the system that we are using. Because, in my opinion, you should be able to um, make a living for your family as a sole earner. And yeah, that's simply not possible anymore in the world that we live in. And it's getting worse every single day, especially with the rise of AI and all these technological advancements, which are great, but they are a big threat to the single earner families. So that's what I'm going to start a series on. And for today, I just wanted to announce it and drop the journey that's ahead. So I hope that people are interested in this because I see that it is a very big problem, and I have found a way to escape this whole matrix kind of thing. But I'm still not where I want to be, and I want to take you guys along on a journey. So today I will start with like the history of the schooling system. Um, we start with the ancient Greeks, as I just told, and I find it very interesting how these guys engaged in all these discussions and were quite ahead of their time, in my opinion, because a lot of the working people were working and they didn't go to school because there was no such thing as a school. There were philosophs like Aristotle, Plato, and guys like that. And a lot of the normal people, they didn't have access to the knowledge, right? So they would engage in their free time, but there was no such thing as a standardized schooling system, which I find interesting because a lot of the great knowledge that we have today comes from those times. And also in this series, I want to focus on finding solutions for people that don't feel like they fit in the current system. And I want to encourage those because if you don't fit in the current system, you're actually future proof because the current system is not going to last another 10 or 15 years because it simply won't work anymore. It hasn't worked for the last 25 years, but people haven't waken up yet. So that's something that we will see in the coming few years. So if you are interested in this whole education thing, in the future of education, in educating yourself, in finding your passion and the things that you get excited about, then I want you to follow along. You can hit subscribe below, and I want to take you on this journey because I believe that a lot of people, especially men, they are forced into a certain job or work field or like profession by their parents or by their environment, which almost happened to me. And I'm glad I got out of that. And then you start working a job, and then at the beginning, it's all fun. And later on, you have to stay in the job because you have a family to take care of. So you simply cannot opt out and find something else because often after a few years, you got paid quite a bit better. And if you would excuse me, if you would quit the job, you would have to start over again. And financially, that doesn't make any sense. So I feel you. You have a lot to bear. And I'm here to tell you that there are a lot of options out there, especially if you think that there is more to life than just work. And if you are a bit rebellious or like a bit contrarian, so you like to question things, how things work, why they work the way they work, why we do things the way we do them. Yeah, that's this channel. So I hope you are excited about this journey, and I will see you in the next video where we will go deep into the history of the schooling system as we know it today, and how that got to the point where we are right now. Have a good day, and I will see you in the next video.